Alright, we are back for round number 3. I kind of made my opponent wait a little while without, sorry about that. And I'm going to mulligan. This hand is obviously poop. This hand is more poop. This hand's way more poop. I'm going to keep. If I can draw a couple lands, this hand with the Kiln Fiend is going to be pretty good, depending on my opponent is. So, might as well. Evolving Wilds. What deck plays Evolving Wilds? 5-color Zoo? It's literally the only deck I can think of. Yeah. Alright. Nope. Alright. Well, it's looking like uh my plans to play Burn this week have been less than fruitful. Oh, it looks like my opponent also kept the one land plan and fetched. So you're saying there's a chance. I don't know what that's from, but one of my friends says it. Unless my opponent forgot to play a land. Oh. Wait. This deck plays Evolving Wilds? I guess so. Oof. Cracked my arm and hurts a bit now. Alright. Um, I think I'm going to concede here so that my opponent doesn't know what I have. I'm obviously losing, but now he won't quite know what deck I'm playing. As where now I know what he's playing, so we're going to try that strategy. So we're going to bring in a couple Lightning Strikes and a couple of Pyroblasts. I'm not so big on Martyr of Ashes in this matchup, though I could be wrong on whether or not it's actually good. I don't like Needle Drop here. I'm not as fond of Kiln Fiend as much either. And I think that's a fine sideboard plan. Other than that, just want to be as quick as possible, so. Oh, alright. My opponent could know what I'm playing. I mean, he could have looked at my game or something like that, but we'll see. Yes, I would like to play first. I would like to keep. Now, Chain Lightning is a spell I'm going to use a lot more quickly than Lightning Bolt because of the 2 red claws on it, but we'll see. Also, I apologize if you, throughout all of my videos so far, have heard me heavily breathing. I don't mean for that to be picked up, but my mic is a little strong, apparently, so. My opponent chose to keep. And I'm obviously not going to Chain Lightning right now. I'm just going to say go. Well, we have 4 Lightning Bolts, so all we need to do is play 3 more, and we win. And I'm just going to Lightning Bolt in response so I can have 6. Alright. Okay, it's not a bad one. Hello? Alright. I am building a new computer this week, so thank God for that. Hopefully all these troubles go away. Alright, well, my opponent's on a pretty slow draw, so that's good for me. No, that's nothing important. Although I will charge my phone. My opponent plays a Ponder. Did I forget to bring in Pyroblast? I hope not. That would make me look dumb. Then again, I guess I'm already dumb, so it doesn't really matter. And they chose not to shuffle. Alright. Alright, so we got to 4 lands. We need to not draw any more lands. Drawing lands is not good from here on out. Mimic Cyclops, alright. So I'm going to Lightning Strike my opponent at the end of turn. Depending on what I draw, I'll choose to kill the Cyclops or not. Okay, well we drew Searing Blaze, so obviously that just changed everything. Searing Blaze is still somewhat good in this match for the fact that it kills Kiln Fiend or Delver, so And now we say go. So my opponent is at 8, which is a virtual 5. Drawing one more bolt should be enough. Or a Fire Blast, of course. See what my opponent does. Bottom, top. Okay. And says go. We're not going to play Lightning Bolt just yet. Drew another curse. Alright. That's also not terrible. Just going to say go here. Not going to unleash the bolt. Can do it whenever the heck I want. See if my opponent counters. They do not. My opponent could have brought in Hydroblast thinking I was a red deck. I did play Goblins for a couple weeks in a row. And Tron, so... My opponent chose to Gush. That is an aggressive Gush at the end of my turn? No, my end of main phase. Really? That's interesting. Why would my opponent have done that? I wonder why. Could have easily just done it on his turn. Maybe there's something I'm missing. What the? Oh. Dang it. Lightning Bolt me. Okay. I have no problem with that. Okay. Triple Curse of the Pure Start. I guess it's just like Lightning Bolting my opponent. Well, I believe my opponent is in fact dead. I don't see what they can do anymore, especially since I have a Lightning Bolt in my hand. Always yield. And I have 3 of these, so ponder. Alright. Doesn't really matter what they do, but I guess it kind of matters because if they chose not to shuffle... Oh, okay. Mutagenic Growth, yeah. So, that is one thing. Don't ever preordain or ponder and then concede, because for some reason Magic Online still shows the cards to your opponent. This has been a thing since version 3. I don't know if it's been a thing since version 2. That I wouldn't know. I didn't play enough of version 2. But, yeah. Oh, I did bring in Pyroblast, okay. So, I'm going to take out, I think... I'm going to bring in the back in the Kiln Fiend, and I think I might just take out Keldon Marauders, one of them, because of the fact that Keldon Marauders, 1 being 2 mana for 2 damage is not too good in this matchup, and it can be blocked by a Cyclops, so it's not going to do as much. I'm going to keep this hand. This hand is not terrible. It's got a couple Lava Spikes to get going. That sucks for me. Alright, well, I'm just going to Chain Lightning this guy then. I'd rather do that because then if my opponent has a Hydroblast, I don't want to have to waste 2 spells on it. Ponder. Okay. Let's see here. This matchup is kind of a coin toss. It's really just, you know, how good of a draw does my opponent have? How good of a draw am I having? You know, things of that nature. Chose not to shuffle and played another island. Alright. Another curse. Curse 1, go. Hydroblast. Force Spike. Nothing of the sort. I like it. Always yield. F6. Another ponder. Alright. I do like, I like calling this deck Is It Blitz. I remember somebody calling it that. Chose to shuffle the library and played a Delver. Alright, so we're going to kill that Delver too. And we drew a land, which is perfect, because now we can kill it. Again, I'm going to do it on my main phase, just in case my opponent has a Hydroblast in hand. And I'm going to play this. So we have 10 damage in my hand. So I just want to stop drawing lands now, of course. But I can, you know, knock on wood, die at any moment to my opponent top decking a mountain and going Kiln Fiend or Nivix Cyclops. Assuming the Fire Blast doesn't get through it if I have to do that. My opponent top, so they kept the mountain on top. But they're not playing Kiln Fiend, so that's good. And we drew Rift Bolt. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and bolt my opponent. I'm going to go ahead and bolt my opponent again. bolt, spike, same damn thing. Suspend, pass the turn. I don't believe that this deck plays anything like Crimson Wisps or whatever the new card is from Oath of the Gatewatch that gives a guy haste and whatnot. Okay, so he plays Kiln Fiend. I think I'm going to try to kill the Kiln Fiend. If my opponent has Hydroblast, it doesn't die. If they have Apostle's Blessing, it doesn't die. Apostle's Blessing would not be the worst because then they take 2. Okay, they do have Hydroblast, so that's to be expected. So if I draw Bolt, I win. And I drew a land because I suck. Well, I'm going to say go. And I'm going to make my opponent try to kill me. Okay, maybe saying I suck is kind of a... maybe it's a little aggressive to say I suck, but... You know, I do like the way this island looks, though. That looks pretty cool. This one, no, not that one. This one, not so much. And this mountain, I'm not a very big fan of. It's just a bunch of molten rocks falling. We'll see what my opponent does. He gushes. Okay. Not going to do in response to the gush. I don't think that that's a very good idea. Is that all they're playing? They didn't even use the 2 blue. I guess so, okay. Keldon Marauders. Well, that's not bad. That actually blocks. And puts my opponent on lethal. To Fire Blast, so we'll see how this works out for us. The little Keldon Marauders that could. So obviously I've gotten pretty lucky this game in terms of my opponent did not have a very good draw. You know, they had a pretty slow draw, and obviously the 2 curses have done much more work than they are supposed to. Curse is not actually that good in this match. It's pretty good because you can just sit behind a couple of them and then burn all of their creatures, but that plan doesn't work for very long, so... Alright, well, we'll Fire Blast in response and see what my opponent says about it. Pretty sure I win? I don't believe that they play double. Alright, we got there. Got a little lucky game 1. Got a little lucky games 2 and 3, and I think I played my cards in the correct order. I think my opponent also maybe, you know, kept a few sketchy hands. Game 2, I saw my opponent mulligan, so I definitely got lucky. But alright, I'll see you for round number 3. Stay tuned.